So what I'm going to do is read what the change for 6.20 is for Jinx exactly, and then break down what I think it means going forward for Jinx. So first, E mana cost up, damage down. We've toned down many of Jinx's strongest lane opponents over the past few patches, leaving her with room to rocket back into bot lane prominence. Unlike more complex projects like Kog'Maw, Jinx is simply scaling up a bit too quickly. Though the patch notes here says Flame Chompers, it's actually more about Jinx's rockets. If she wants to keep feeding mana into fish bones, she'll need to be more careful about how often she drops her traps. So the base damage is down, the cost is up, but there's also mouth guards, which means enemies now only take damage from one Flame Chomper per cast, even if they're hit by multiple explosions. Now after asking August himself about this, what that basically means is, before, if you stepped on a Flame Chomper, but you stayed around the other two after they detonated, you take damage both from when you were snared, and their explosion after they detonated in 5 seconds. Now, if you're snared by a Flame Chomper, even if you stand on the other Flame Chompers when they detonate, you won't take any damage from them anymore. Now what I think this means for Jinx going forward is some people think it's not that big of a nerf, you max Flame Chompers last, right? Yeah, true, but this is to hit her lane bullying, I think. That's why I think this is a bit bigger of a nerf than it's being led on to be. It's because Jinx is kind of a lane bully. Some people don't like that, some people do like that. But right now you kind of just stay in rocket form to play safely from range and harass. Or, you use the minigun to CS and you only use the rocket launcher to harass anyway. But when I say lane bully, I mean kill lanes, right? Like with a Thresh, he hooks somebody, you throw the Flame Chompers, then he goes and flays them, you hit him with Zap to slow them, and then you finish them off with a Super Mega Death Rocket in like the box, for example, at level 6. Well now, if you had to use the Flame Chompers to zone away a jungler that was trying to gank or something, the cooldown, or the mana cost is actually higher, so you're going to have to be a bit more, careful with that in terms of doing it repeatedly in lane, on top of the extra damage also not being there. I think I will agree with people. I don't think that one is super hard of a nerf, right? But because of the cost going up, the rocket launcher does cost 20 mana, and Jinx doesn't have like the highest mana pool in lane. So you do have to be a bit more smarter than with how you do those kind of engages. But it's not like it's impossible, and that's what I mean. Going forward, I don't think it's like a huge nerf. I just think it's a little bit bigger than it's being led on to be by some other people that think it's not that big of a nerf. I think it is actually a bigger nerf than they think, but I don't think it's like a super huge nerf, and I think the problem with Jinx really is her lane counters aren't that good, so once they get buffed or something against her, that will also be a nerf in itself, and that's also part of why I don't think they're hitting her a bit too hard here. Just a really quick highlight, 6.17, they didn't buff her because she was doing bad in ranked, they buffed her because she was doing bad in competitive play. A lot of people think that's for some reason was a unnecessary buff, and it was a very necessary buff for pro play. It just made her out of control in solo queue, so that's why they have to start reining her in now. But that's all for this video. Thank you for watching if you did watch this far. Life is full of a lot of kinks, so I don't know which video will be next. So until next time, take care from the Fire God Eye FS.